Welcome into Titans Today. I am your host, Brett Alper. And on today's show, we're going to be talking about the roster because the NFL draft is come and gone. The Titans have signed the UDFAs. And now we're going to be talking about the depth charts and who specifically is going where on the depth chart and what positions they're going to be at, who's starting and where they're at. But first, before we get into it, it's a new roster. It's a new year. We're now officially fully into the offseason. September's going to be a blink of an eye. So if you want to see the Tennessee Titans make the playoffs, go ahead and hit that thumbs up icon. Like the video, because I know we want to see Nissan Stadium rocking with some playoff football. All right, we're going to get started, of course, with the quarterbacks. You have Cam Ward. Oh, man. Finally, I can officially put him on the depth chart. Then Will Levis and Brandon Allen. You also have Tim Boyle, who I think is one of the worst quarterbacks in NFL history, but that's here nor there. Cam Ward's going to change this franchise, man. You brought in the number one overall pick, and you get your quarterback. You get the guy that's going to be above and beyond the best player in the draft, and he has shown it from time and time again that he can take the offense from Miami, take the offense from Washington State, take the offense from Incarnate Word. Cam Ward is going to change the culture of the Tennessee Titans, and he knows it too. And it starts with your quarterback. Tennessee has had a very, very, very solid roster in the past, and it's the quarterback that has held them back. I know Ryan Tannehill in the past has been very, very good, but we saw with Will Levis. This team was still solid, but Will Levis was just meh. It starts with your quarterback. We've seen teams before make a jump in the future when they got their QB. We've seen the Texans do it. We've seen the Commanders do it, and maybe the Titans can do it this year. But you got your quarterback, and that QB1 is where it's at. Don't know where Will Levis is going, but does it really matter at this point? Now going on to the running backs. Tony Pollard, Tajay Spears, Julius Chestnut, Khalil Mullings. Those are your four. I don't think there's going to be more than 5 on this roster, but I would say Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears are 1A and 1B, but Tony Pollard clearly having a 1,000-yard rushing season is going to be your starting running back, and you drafted what I said multiple times in multiple mock drafts and multiple videos that you needed to get a ground and pound guy that's going to be a big, bulky dude, and you got that in Khalil Mullings. Now, the true question is he going to be productive enough to be your running back too and have that little Sonic and Knuckles duo just as a 6th-round pick? That's the true question that you have here. I still like Tajay Spears, but you're going for that duo. Is a guy like him going to be as productive as a 6th-round pick? I'm not really into, draft picks, but I would try to say that I could see it. I really could. But Tajay Spears might be traded at some point before the season starts. Now we have the wide receivers. And this was my top priority in the draft. Top priority. Calvin Ridley, Tyler Lockett, Van Jefferson, Alec Minor. You signed Chimere DK. You got Xavier Restrepo as an undrafted free agent. You still have Traylon Burks, but the Titans team, man, they really, really, really addressed this position. Mike Borgonzi knew you got to get someone to complement your quarterback, man. It can't just be one singular person in Calvin Ridley. And I'm really looking forward to it. Like, you drafted 2 guys, and I can't believe Alec Manor was on the board. And then you have the chemistry with Xavier Restrepo. Like, Traylon Burks, I'm sorry, I've said it again and again and again. I truly don't think he's going to be on this roster come August. I think they're going to be looking for a trade, and if it doesn't happen, you might get the cut. But my question is, who is going to be your wide receiver 3 or wide receiver 4? Because Van Jefferson is on kind of a decline of his career, and you drafted these 2 players, Alec Manor and Chimere DK. Manor had a way better season in 2023, but these are still solid stats. I mean, they're very similar. Chimere DK, 18.6 average. Alec Manor, 13.2. You want that slot guy. That's what you're going for because you have Calvin Ridley. And I expect Calvin Ridley to have a great year. You have complementary receivers now. You also signed Tyler Lockett. So now you're giving all that space where corners and safeties just can't focus in on Calvin Ridley. That's going to give you one-on-one coverage. And I know Cam Ward can sling that thing down the field and find the deep open man, and it's going to be Calvin Ridley. So I'm really expecting Calvin Ridley to have a solid year and a comeback year in 2025. Now, I also like some of the tight ends that the Titans have gotten. You have Chigakonkwo, who is going into a contract year, Josh Wiley, and they drafted Gunnar Helm. And I could see this being your new tight end too. Like, I'm not 100% sure what the Titans think of him as your tight end, because I really like Wiley, and I think Chigakonkwo is a great player. I said it before. I'm expecting a breakout year in 2025. But when you're in a contract year and you draft a guy, it's kind of like, okay, well, we kind of see this guy as the future. Now, don't get me wrong, I could see a lot of 12 personnel on the field when you have a great offensive line, which we'll get to in just 1 second, but you have 2 tight ends on each side, 1 running back, and that gives you an opportunity to have a blocking guy in Okonkwo and then Gunnar Helm going out to catch passes. And we know the saying, tight end's always open. Tight end's always open. And Okonkwo being in the contract year, he's kind of expendable. I'm not saying trade or anything like that, but when you're in a contract year, if you don't perform up to high standards of what the Titans are going with, if Gunnar Helm outperforms him, you're on that rookie contract, and he'll be a free agent after the year, and the Titans can just say, well, we have this guy. So I think that's what they're thinking, that every single draft pick in the later rounds kind of was just on potential, what they could become. In 5 years, we could see some of these players being the best players, or 4 years, right at the end of their rookie contracts, and that's where you're going to get the top potential. So I think it's going to be Okonkwo being the starter, but we could see Gunnar Helm week 12 or 13 take over as that tight end number 1 or even tight end number 2. So I'm asking you guys, pick a starter. Do you want Chig or do you want Gunnar Helm? Type CO for Chigakonkwo or type GH for Gunnar Helm. Now, coming up, before we get into the defense, and the defense, I really like what the Titans have done defensively. I mean, I give their offense an A, but I really enjoyed what they're doing on defense. But we got to get into some jerseys first. And you can get your Cam Ward jersey today. Chatsports.com/Ward. Cam Ward's going to be wearing number 1. We don't have to worry about him choosing a number because it's going to be number 1. That looks sleek. That looks really, really sleek. And you can get yours today, chatsports.com/Ward. Support the show. Support the sponsor. We'd really appreciate it. If you don't want to type it all out, you can get it in the comments. I'll put it in the comments of today's video. The defensive line depth chart is one that really wasn't a big change. Not at all. T'Vondre Sweat and Jeffrey Simmons. You signed Cam Horsley as your nose tackle out of an undrafted free agent. I think he could possibly make the team, but you really didn't need to with how good Jeffrey Simmons and T'Vondre Sweat have been. This was where you really need to improve, and this was, I think, the second emphasis that Mike Borgonzi made through the draft and free agency, and that was the edge depth chart. Sebastian Joseph Day is going to be your number 1. You got Draymond Jones, who's finally going to be on the outside once again, and you drafted Femi Oladejo. I said it. He was in my mock draft. I said you needed to get edges. And what did Mike Borgonzi do? He drafted an edge. So I will say thank you. Thank you, Mike Borgonzi, for watching Titans today. Because I said it. You needed wide receivers and you needed edge rushers. And what did they go out and get? They got 2 wide receivers and an edge rusher in Femi Oladejo. And I am really, really, really enjoying Femi Oladejo. But it's a potential kind of thing. It's all potential. I'm not expecting Femi to really start in right off the bat. He's got the frame. He's got the size. But it is all about potential with Mike Borgonzi. Now, next year, once he gets behind a veteran like Draymond Jones learning, that's when you get into it. That's when you see him start to play. We'll see him play in 2025, but don't expect him to start right away. Cornerback, You didn't address this one at all, except for Harris down at the bottom, L'Jarius Sneed. Jarvis Brownlee and Roger McCreary. L'Jarius Sneed, I've heard some rumors that, well, with the lawsuit that he has going on, I don't know what's going to happen with that one. But Jarvis Brownlee, I still want to see them sign a veteran corner, and there's still plenty. Asante Samuel is still on the board here. Now we go to the safeties, and Amani Hooker and Xavier Woods. But Amani Hooker, watch out, buddy. I know you're great, but watch out. Truly watch out, because Kevin Winston, man, steal of the draft. He's coming off surgery, coming off a season-ending surgery. But he is one of the best safeties in this draft, and if he's healthy, look out. Here's what Chris Trapasso at a CBS Sports had to say about him, and he was talking about his top 10 steals of the draft. He said, when healthy, Winston was that good at Penn State, roaming the deep middle and flying to the football and outside runs. One of my favorite stats for any prospect in the 2025 class. Winston did not miss a tackle on 506 snaps as a sophomore in 2023 while making 61 tackles, 3 of which were for loss. I think if he is healthy, and I'll talk about it, in 2025, it's not 1995 anymore. You get surgery, and it's not like super where you tore 17,000 ligaments in your knee. You're coming back, and you're going to be fully healthy. We've seen it with so many players before. I think Kevin Winston's going to come back and be a dominant, strong safety for the Titans. And then the last one. I really like Johnny Hecker, Julius Chestnut. Chimere DK is your punt returner right off the bat. Dude runs a 4.3. Joey Sly, though? I don't know. Saw him with the Patriots last year, and he was just not great. And Nick Folk was awesome. That was just kind of my questionable pick out of all of them. Why'd you sign Joey Sly? He's not that great. Not that good. You need a kicker. You need a kicker. So, before we get out of here, I'm going to ask you guys, predict the win total for 2025. Titans, I said it earlier, you could go up and jump and make that blockbuster jump that the Texans did or the Commanders did. Let me know down in the comments. My prediction, 7 wins. I think with Mike Borgonzi and Brian Callahan, I think that they're not going to... We're not like, hey, we're going to do this all in 1 year. This is a building block, up and up and up and all the way to where you're competing in the AFC South. And the AFC South sucks. So you have that opportunity to make that jump. But I think it's going to take probably 2 years rather than just 1 year. I still think they're going to overachieve. I think they're going to be a lot better than people think. So I'm giving them 7 wins. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think. That's going to do it for today's video of Titans Today. As always, don't forget to hit that thumbs up icon. Subscribe. I'm your host, Brett Alper. And as always, tighten up.